Let's switch gears, head outside right now. Had some wild weather last night as we take a live look right now just beyond Logan Airport here. Beautiful, and thankfully it's dry out there.
Yeah, meteorologist Pamela Gardner here with us right now. We've got a nice break from those storms, thankfully, that we had yesterday. Some folks even saw hail out there.
Yeah, we had some pretty large hailstones for New England standards, quarter size or even some bigger hail reports too. I'll get to that in a second. Right now, the radar is nice and dry. You can rest easy, and overnight tonight, tomorrow, no severe weather expected, but check out these storm reports. This is where we had all that hail and one particular storm cell too. And then lining up behind it, we had more storm cells that did produce the hail all across southeastern Massachusetts and all the way towards Cape Cod. So how do we get these large hailstones for New England? Well, we have to have a big storm with an updraft. The updraft has to carry a piece of ice towards the freezing level at the top of the cloud, roughly. And the freezing level yesterday was about 8,000 to 10,000 feet, so it wasn't too high. And then as that piece of ice grows, it gets a little heavy and gets into the downdraft. But it doesn't quite make it to the ground as the updraft gets stronger, and so it gets picked up by a 60-mile-per-hour wind as the storm grows and strengthens. And then it grows another layer of ice, and then it falls to the ground. That's what happened yesterday. We had to have about a 60-mile-per-hour updraft in the storm for that hail to fall. And it looked like this here across areas of South Dartmouth, where you had about quarter-plus size hailstones. I think that one there, ping-pong ball-sized hail. So nothing like that today on First Alert Live Radar. We have actually plenty of sunshine in between the cloud cover, but the clouds will be back in full force. We're 60 in Boston now, and that's pretty much it for the day. We fall into the 50s much of this afternoon. This evening spent in the 50s with more clouds and a couple showers on the way too. I'll have the timing plus when we see 70s again in the 10-day.
Alert weather on NBC 10 Boston, Boston's most accurate forecast.
PG, Melody, I apologize if my voice is a little raspy today.
Oh, yeah?
Last night, Tim McGraw at the Garden was scheduled for Friday night.
Right.
I don't know if you guys knew it or not. The Garden's a little busy these days.
Yeah.
So it was last night, and I have to say, it was chilly and cold outside in Boston. It was hot.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
It was hot. It was very, if you know what I'm putting down here, folks.
I think we
Tim
all
McGraw.
pick up what you're putting down.
Yes.
Yeah. Mr.
Hot like the
McGraw
sunrise.
looking good at the Garden.
Yes, just like the sunrise.
Noted. Noted.
Good, good. Well, you hide it well. Your voice sounds just fine.
All right, good.
So we had a beautiful sunrise today. Speaking of, our own Mark Garfinkel took this photo this morning. I love it. We have the texture to the clouds, and now the clouds are actually going to move back in for today and the next several days as we stay cool too. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s for highs consistently through the weekend. And that includes Mother's Day, plus an unsettled weather pattern sticks around too. It's not going to be a washout, but why, oh, why are we going back to this weird weather pattern? Well, we have continued onshore flow as we go into the coming days with a bit of a surface wind coming in from the ocean. The jet stream is positioned down to our south, but we're positioned with the colder air to the north. So with the jet stream down to the south, this helps to kind of skirt by a few disturbances while severe weather threat does remain far south of us. We have another chance for some rain sneaking in, and then Sunday, this is where we could see a closed upper low finally in our area, but giving us a cool pool of air. And with a surface wind still from the east, well, it's a recipe to see a couple showers and a cooler than normal Mother's Day. So I'll show you that in the 10-day in just a minute. First Alert Live Radar, the big picture. We're all dry, we're all calm up here, but we still have a lot of activity with severe weather yet again. So yesterday we had tons of storm reports of hail, of damaging wind across the Tennessee River Valley, Ohio valleys, and several tornado reports too, especially clustered around Nashville, Tennessee. The severe weather threat now pivots farther to the south. It includes Dallas, Jackson, to even Charleston, South Carolina. As we see through the day, some storms developing there with tornadoes, damaging wind, and hail. We're in the cool and more stable air mass. So we have clouds, and that's it. It's pretty calm today. Temps in the 50s. We have 60s out there with a passing shower later this evening, especially north of Boston. And then another cluster of rain passes to our south just offshore. By tomorrow morning, some of those showers try to skirt by the south coast, Cape and Islands. Otherwise, overnight tonight is going to be muggy with areas of patchy fog and temperatures in the 40s to 50s. Today's highs shaping up to be in the 60s and mid 60s inland with some 50s across the Cape and Islands. And Our lows tonight back in the 40s with a chance for more clouds. Believe it or not, tomorrow it's going to be even cooler with that east wind coming in right off that 48-degree ocean water temperature. So at the coast, we'll barely be in the low 50s for much of the day. High tides also something we're concerned with this week as they're astronomically high due to the new moon on, well, Wednesday. So it's the overnight tides all the way through Sunday morning, 3 a.m. Typical low-lying areas will see water and splash over, and any little bit of that east wind will help to amplify the chance for some of that minor coastal flooding. Friday morning, we start off with a few showers to the south. East wind continues as well. And then going into Saturday, it looks like it's going to be a mostly dry day with the system passing far enough offshore. Not too concerned. In fact, we'll see some sun Saturday. Sunday, Mother's Day, still cool and a chance for some rain, but not an all-day washout, just a 30% chance of rain. The warm temps, just like what we saw this week, Monday and Tuesday next week as you head back to work and back to school.